Batman Arkham Asylum was a smash hit. The game selling just under 2 million copies in less than a month, and practically had critical acclaim shooting at its ass. It was inevitable that Rocksteady would continue the Arkham series, and with the groundwork set with Arkham Asylum, they could build onto bigger and better things with the sequel, Batman Arkham City. But Rocksteady had already conceived the idea for a sequel before development for Arkham Asylum had even concluded. You can see this in a secret room in Arkham Asylum that contains blueprints for the Arkham City prison in the warden's office, which are pretty similar to the final product of Arkham City. Serious development of the game's concepts and story started in February 2009, as people were finishing up their work on Asylum and moving straight on to working on City. Early on, however, Rocksteady did decide, while City would be much larger than Asylum, they would not include the Batmobile, as it just wouldn't have worked in the world of Arkham City, and its destroyed locales, and having the gliding provided sufficient speed while travelling from point to point. Yet again, Rocksteady took just 2 years to complete work on Arkham City, and yet again was met with universal acclaim, and for many fans of the series, Arkham City still remains their favourite Arkham game to date. So how does it hold up today? Today I'll be diving deep into the story of Arkham City, go over the improvements to gameplay and changes from Arkham Asylum, and go over the DLC Harley Quinn's Revenge. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about an all-time great in gaming, Batman Arkham City.
You!
Get out of my way, Quinn.
Leave us alone, B-Man! Just leave me with him.
Arkham City is set just 1 year after the events of Arkham Asylum. Quincy Sharp had taken complete credit for halting the Joker's siege on the asylum, and has used this credential to become the mayor of Gotham City. With this new power, Sharp closes both the asylum and Blackgate and deems them no longer suitable to contain Gotham's criminals, and instead purchases the notorious slums of Gotham and converts these neighborhoods into a massive prison now known as Arkham City. The story begins at a press conference held by Bruce Wayne, as he declares his opposition to Arkham City, but doesn't get very far along before he is stopped by Tiger Mercenaries, a rogue military firm, and now arrested, Bruce finds himself now imprisoned within Arkham City. Hugo Strange, the man Sharp put in charge of Arkham City, informs Bruce Wayne that he knows that he is Batman, and releases him to be amongst the criminals within this prison city. This intro as we control Bruce Wayne as he walks past prisoners shouting how he is a dead man really does set the tone, and really the difference in perception. The criminals are terrified of Batman, and we are used to them being fearful of the Dark Knight. So to experience this intro playing as Bruce, and having us as the player know we are Batman, it just was a really great touch to hear the criminals talking so much shit, constant threats of death, and to fight the criminals as Bruce Wayne just feels great after they constantly threaten to end his life. And just like walking through Arkham Asylum, this introduction in Arkham City sets the overall tone for the game. Arkham City is a prison. Make no mistake about it, criminals rule this city. It is a dangerous place, and not only that, but Bruce Wayne has been thrown into this prison knowing that the man who put him here knows his greatest secret. As we subdue criminals, Strange prepares something called Protocol 10, which, as he does, Wayne gets Alfred to airdrop his equipment, letting him suit up and become Batman. Now, the start of the game was actually from the perspective of Catwoman stealing from Two-Face, and after defeating his goons, is captured by Harvey. I bring this up now because Batman's first course of action in Arkham City is to save Catwoman from being executed by Two-Face, as he is trying to garner respect amongst rival gangs. After saving Catwoman from Two-Face, Batman quickly saves her again from being assassinated by Joker, and then she leaves. Okay then, I guess I'll see you later in a very abrupt way. But nevertheless, Batman tracks the shot, and after learning the Joker's hideout is in the steel mill, goes there in hopes that Joker knows what exactly is Protocol 10. It's at the steel mill Batman finds the Joker dead.
Surprise!
And Harley knocks out Batman. Back to Catwoman. Wait, what? What happened to Batman? This is an issue I have with the Catwoman DLC in terms of its story implementation. In terms of gameplay, the moments where we get a break from Batman and get a different approach to playing the game as Selina are great and really enjoyable. But in terms of story, there isn't much here, and these moments do halt the story and momentum of Arkham City. If she was more integral to the overall plot, it would help feel less jarring. But because it was originally DLC and not always automatically included with the experience, it just feels forced into the main story. But back to Batman. We get a reveal of the after effects of the Titan formula when we get a good look at the Joker, who looks truly ill, and learn that the Titan flowing through him is mutating his blood and simultaneously killing him. The Joker performs a blood transfusion on Batman, injecting him with the same fatal disease, and reveals to Batman that his blood has also been sent to all of Gotham's hospitals to infect the general populace. But not only this, but the reason Batman sought out Joker in the first place, to learn what Protocol 10 is, he actually doesn't know. This encounter with Joker is truly dark. The reveal of the effects from Titan are visibly shown here, and the reveal is just done so well. It still gives me goosebumps.
It was all a lie. There's nothing wrong with you.
Nice of you to say, but you of all people should know there's plenty wrong with me.
And now, not only does Batman need to find out what Strange has planned for Arkham City with Protocol 10, but Batman also must find a cure for this disease flowing through him, and soon to be flowing through the city of Gotham. The stakes are high, not only because without Batman, Gotham would succumb to Batman's many villains, but even with Batman alive, Gotham may yet still be doomed to fall. Joker tells Batman to go and find Mr. Freeze, as he had tasked him with creating a cure, but has since gone dark. So Batman sets out to find him. We learn that Freeze has been captured by Penguin, and after tracking him down, defeating his goons, his imprisoned monster, Solomon Grundy, and yes, Penguin himself, we free Freeze from his microwave prison, but learn that Freeze has encountered a hiccup in creating the cure. That being that the cure he had created is useless. It's unstable. Batman believes that the solution to this instability could be solved by tracking down Ra's al Ghul, as his blood is filled with the restoring properties and should help complete the cure. Overhearing this conversation is an assassin, which Batman tracks to a secret city underneath Arkham City, where he is confronted by Talia, Ra's al Ghul's daughter and Batman's on-again, off-again lover. Batman convinces Talia that he is there to take the place of Ra's, and it's here in this scene we do begin to see the effects of Joker's blood on Batman.
You, me, a better world. Your face!
Now before this we do see that Batman is clearly dying as he collapses and stumbles into the secret city. But seeing his face here and getting a good look at how he has changed since the beginning of the game and the reaction of Talia really makes you feel like Batman is on the clock. He needs to start hurrying or he won't get to help Gotham or himself. Batman takes the demon trials in which we are guided by Ra's, and after completing this trial we see a very dead looking Ra's who tells Batman to complete the trial he must kill him. Batman denies this request and instead opts to weaken Ra's, after doing so taking some of his blood. Seeing the effects of constant resurrection and seeming immortality on Ra's in this encounter really interested me, as it is a topic that many people have thought about. What would happen if you were immortal? Would you age the same, look the same? Dying and being resurrected over and over has its effects. Ra's doesn't look natural in Arkham City, and it was a side to this notorious villain that often isn't explored, but was something that truly added a lot of depth to his character here. Now with Ra's al Ghul's blood, Batman returns to Freeze, so he can complete the cure. Freeze complies, but after creating the cure, breaks one of them, leaving Batman to have one of the greatest boss fights in-game in history, that I'll go over in the gameplay. Once Batman finishes beating up on Freeze, he goes to take the remaining cure, to find it has been stolen by Harley Quinn, leaving Batman to go and retrieve the cure from Joker. Miraculously, Batman finds the Joker has had his health fully restored, and while the two of them go at it, Strange activates Protocol 10, which is revealed to be a scheme to wipe out the entire population of Arkham City and eliminate all the criminals of Gotham. Tiger mercenaries begin executing inmates as Strange bombards the city with missiles, one hitting the steel mill and burying Batman in rubble. Before Joker can end Batman, Talia comes and offers Joker immortality in return for Batman's life, which he accepts, leaving Batman stuck under the rubble. Now we return to Catwoman, who after her honestly pretty pointless story is given the option to save Batman or leave Arkham City, which if you choose to leave without saving Batman, you are treated to this lovely ending. I mean, that's bleak. But it is a false choice, as it rewinds back and you do actually need Catwoman to save Batman from the rubble. After being freed from the rubble, Batman is convinced by Alfred that he must put the city and the greater good before one person, so goes to stop Protocol 10 before pursuing Joker, climbing up Wonder Tower to stop Strange and Protocol 10. It is revealed that Strange is just a puppet to Ra's al Ghul, and that the idea of Arkham City and Protocol 10 was all his plan to cleanse the city of Gotham. Which, after it is revealed, it seems like such a Ra's plan to begin with, but this twist originally truly blindsided me and gave me that "wait, what?" reaction. Ra's wounds Strange for failing his plans, and with Strange's dying breath, he activates Protocol 11, blowing up Wonder Tower, which as Ra's and Batman fall from the tower, Ra's ends up killing himself to avoid being captured by Batman. The Joker contacts Batman to meet him at the theater, or else he'll kill Talia, so Batman complies. As Batman arrives and the Joker demands the cure, Talia impales Joker. Now distracted, Talia admits she stole the cure from Quinn, and as Batman is piecing together what just happened, realizes something isn't right, but too late as Talia is killed by the real, still very much sick Joker, and it is revealed that the healthy Joker was actually just Clayface. Again, a twist upon my first playthrough I really didn't see coming, but it is set up so damn well. When it is seemingly revealed that the Joker is cured, we do see a seeming reflection of the still sick Joker that we just chalk up to being a distraction tool for the big reveal that he is cured, but after the twist can see it as a distraction for Joker's overall plan, and it is done so well. After Batman defeats Clayface, Batman drinks a portion of the cure and destroys Ra's al Ghul's Lazarus Pit before the Joker can use it. Batman and Joker go back and forth on whether Batman will give him the cure also, before the Joker grows impatient and attacks Batman, forcing him to drop the cure, leaving the Joker officially a dead man. Batman admitting to Joker that even though he is a monster and all he has done, he would have saved him. Joker dies shortly after, and Batman carries his body out of Arkham City. Commissioner Gordon asks what happened as Batman places Joker's lifeless body on the hood of the police car and leaves without saying a word. And that is the story of Arkham City. Oh. And after the credits roll, we finish off Catwoman's story arc and defeat Two-Face. And that is the story of Arkham City. Honestly, the best part of this game's story is the ending moments between Batman and Joker. It is such a well done scene of back and forth, and Batman telling Joker he would have saved him and the Joker laughing himself to death. It makes you realize that even though Joker can and does try to kill Batman, no matter what, Batman would always try and save Joker. And seeing him walk out noticeably in shock is just the icing on the cake. But Arkham City doesn't just have one main story. Many of Batman's villains are side missions around the world, which are also great mini-stories in their own right. Like Zsasz calling Batman on different telephones, and while he thinks he cannot be tracked down, goes into great depth as to what made him snap. Or Bane seemingly wanting to help Batman destroy the remaining Titan, but in fact just wanted to keep Batman busy while he retrieved more Titan for himself, only to have Batman trap him and use him to destroy all of the remaining Titan. A serial killer is loose in Arkham City that resembles Bruce Wayne, tracking the killer down to find he had been killing people around the city to perfectly recreate Bruce's face. But my personal favourite is the Mad Hatter side mission, because it happens at the perfect time. The cure had just been stolen by Harley Quinn, and Batman gets a call from Alfred that they actually managed to create the cure. But upon going and getting it, we find nothing, and wake up at the Mad Hatter's tea party. It happens at the perfect moment because we believe Batman is in big trouble, and hearing a cure is about to be dropped off is that small chance of hope, and to find out it was a trick set by Mad Hatter, who is trying to capture Batman, makes his encounter my personal favourite. And I mean, just look at it. But I think that's enough on the story. So what about the gameplay?
Manners cost nothing, Batman. A please wouldn't go amiss. I mean, if you wanted to be cured so badly, you only had to ask.
Now, in terms of the core gameplay of Arkham City, at its core, in terms of combat and stealth, it is just Arkham Asylum with improvements. The combat still feels great, but the enemy variety is greater, meaning you need to be more strategic. The stealth encounters are now filled with enemies wearing thermal vision who will see you on the gargoyles, enemies that jam Batman's detective mode, and now enemies that will take hostages, so you need to make sure you take out these enemies without being seen. Now again, I did play the game on hard, but this time around you still get the Spidey sense appear on enemies, which to me makes sense with the increase to enemy variety, and the game is no less challenging because of this. Batman has an abundance of upgrades, and we do see some new and old gadgets in this game, like the line launcher that Batman can use to walk along now, or new gadgets like the freeze grenades or smoke grenades, which are an absolute lifesaver and will get you out of a pickle real quick. These gadgets are used in basic encounters, or more often than not, the Riddler challenges. Now, I'm not going to pretend I'm trying to be the completionist, so whilst back in the day I did go out of my way and get all of these challenges done, yeah, I didn't here. Not because I don't enjoy them, because I really do, and some puzzles are a good challenge, but I still have 3 Arkham games to go, which means more Riddler challenges, and I don't need to be going insane here. Batman traversing Arkham City is great. We now can glide and then grapple to gain speed, and it makes traversing this decent sized world feel quick and easy, along with the new dive bomb mechanic that can increase your speed also. But you can't just glide around Arkham City risk free. As you go on, you need to be careful, as many gunners are now on rooftops, so you need to either avoid them or make sure to take them out, and this ensures that the game doesn't become too relaxing and again stops you from feeling invincible. The biggest improvement though from Asylum is the boss fights. These are amazing. From Solomon Grundy and needing to take out the electric generators that keep reviving him whilst dodging these massive attacks. Ra's al Ghul was by far the boss on hard that gave me the most grief, and I loved it. I mean, look at it. It is just a joy to play and fighting his many forms. Even Clayface, who also has big attacks and you need to use freeze grenades on him. It's just a good challenge and a spectacle. But yes, Mr. Freeze is one of my personal favorite bosses ever. It is a bit of a slower pace fight, but needing to keep changing up your plan of attack and avoid freeze just feels great to play, and bashing in his helmet after this fight feels so good. We also have an improved detective mode. I didn't feel like I was using it non-stop here, which stops the game from feeling very blue. It's no less useful, but when I don't need to constantly keep an eye out for Riddler challenges, because they're everywhere, it just means I get to experience the world Rocksteady built here. You do begin using it more and more as the game progresses due to the increase of enemies, but as I said in my Asylum video, this vision is just so useful, and honestly, I don't know how much better you could make it. And they do try and stop you using it with the jamming enemies, which was a nice inclusion for this fact alone, and stops you relying on the vision for everything. But as I said during the story, we don't just control Batman. We get to also play as Catwoman. Now in terms of combat, she does play very similar to Batman, but it is in the traversing of the world and her stealth that makes her interesting to play, as she can walk along ceilings if there is some sort of netting, which means you can invert takedown from anywhere with these ceilings, and it makes a bit more sense as gadget wise she doesn't have much, and if you're me and focus solely on Batman's upgrades, yeah, she'll be taken out really quickly. She can't glide around the city, but she does have a mean jump on her, and her whip acts as a grapple, and she does have Riddler challenges that only she can obtain, meaning if you do want to 100% the game, you will need to go back and forth between Catwoman and Batman more often. But as I said before, she really does act as more of a break from Batman, a bit of a refresher if you will. Her story compared to Batman is so much less interesting, but in gameplay does help mix things up. We also have New Game Plus this time around, with all your gadgets from the start, harder enemies, and here the enemies go back to having no spidey sense. So that's here for you guys. Really, that's about it. It is just more Arkham Asylum, with gameplay improvements where needed. The bosses, traversing the world, the new gadgets, and playing as a completely different character. I mean, it's an absolute blast to play. But we're not quite done yet. Yes, it's time to talk DLC. We begin the DLC with Robin searching for Batman, who has disappeared after trying to infiltrate Harley's base to save captured cops. Batman hasn't been the same since the death of Joker, and isn't talking to Robin or Oracle about Talia or Joker. Robin tracks down Batman's utility belt before we are taken back 2 days earlier to see what happened to Batman. Harley blames Batman for the death of Joker, and Gordon warns the Dark Knight that this all could just be a trap. After saving a cop and finding a way into the base, he attempts to save another cop but is knocked out after taking a bullet as Harley attempts to kill the cop. One of Harley's thugs removes Batman's belt only to have it shock him into dropping it, leaving Robin to find it. Robin progresses and finds Batman trapped in a massive Joker statue and is running out of oxygen. Robin needing to find Harley to obtain her keycard and save Batman, which after doing so and saving Batman, Harley reveals that she has planted bombs all over the building, and Batman orders Robin to save the remaining cops as he disarms them. After defusing the bombs, Batman confronts Harley as she reveals the Joker statue is a large bomb about to go off, and as Batman saves Harley, he is unable to find Robin and is in a panic. While his guard is down, Harley pulls a knife on Batman and goes in for the kill before she is stopped by Robin, who managed to survive the blast and save the cops. And now relieved, Batman leaves, with Gordon asking Robin if Batman is okay, in which he unconvincingly says he will be fine. So that's the story of Harley's revenge. It does an incredible job continuing the story from Arkham City. But the most interesting aspect is Batman and Harley's grief, especially Harley. I mean, you truly feel sorry for her in this DLC, especially after seeing this room here.
Someone, help!
Now after the main game, you can feel Harley's sadness through her talking statues through the world. But here you get to see more of it, and you can see just how lost she is without Mr. J. She wants to die and also wants Batman gone too, after being saved by Batman, saying she wishes he left her there. Emotionally, she makes this DLC a must play in my opinion. But again, a change to gameplay with playing as Robin, who whilst isn't massively different from Batman, I mean, that's to be expected, but his gadgets are very unique, and his combat feels slightly different, and does help make this DLC stand out. What this DLC does so well though, is make you excited to see how they continue this mood and tone of the story. It ends on such a dark note that you just want more of this story. Unfortunately, we would have to wait 4 years before this story would continue.
Are you happy now?
Batman Arkham City, for many fans of this series, is their personal favourite, and honestly, after going back to it and seeing how much this game does so amazingly well, I'm finding it hard not to agree. Lucky for me, I gave myself a big out in my Arkham Asylum video. But for now, let's talk about the game that started the series, and as of this video, I still maintain is my favourite game of the series, Batman Arkham Asylum. The story of Arkham City is dark, it's gritty, and yet again, Batman and Joker's relationship and how it affects those around them is just captivating. The bosses, the side missions, the gameplay improvements, and a truly emotional DLC. I mean, I really hope I don't do this every video, but if Arkham City isn't my favorite in the series, it is damn close. It is a must play, it is an incredible comic game, and yet again is one of the best games of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so glad I decided to replay this series for a retrospective. Asylum and City were games I knew I really enjoyed, but going back, I get to see just how special they really are. If you enjoyed this video though, don't forget to leave it a like, comment below your memories or opinions on Arkham City, and subscribe if you're new. I do videos on the regular, and next time we'll be going over the forgotten game of the series, Batman Arkham Origins. If you want the best way to stay up to date with the channel, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MayorHairBear for gaming pickups, gaming opinions on games new and old, and really it's just a good way to see what is coming up for the channel. But I think I've gone on long enough. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.